Welcome to the India Fintech Diaries, the only podcast focused exclusively on the Indian fintech market. I'm Elroy.
And I'm Hemant. In each episode, we dive into the latest trends, ideas, innovations, business models, and personalities that are shaping India's fintech landscape.
We also invite amazing guests who are innovators and industry players that are driving the change that is helping make financial services more modern, innovative, and inclusive in India. Come join us as we explore the changing landscape of fintech in India. Hi, everyone, and welcome back to India Fintech Diaries. I'm Elroy, and I'm joined by my co host Hemant. Today, we turn our focus towards InsurTech after a very long break. Hemant, you spent some time in the insurance industry and also very closely worked in that segment earlier, right? So, what's happening there?
Yeah, Elroy, actually, that's true. I did start my career with life insurance. Now, Elroy, before we delve into InsurTech as a segment, let's take a step back and look at the insurance market itself for a second.
Sure.
Insurance is still an underpenetrated market in India, Elroy, right?
Yeah.
And insurance penetration in India at the end of FY 2021 stood at 4.2%. And when you compare that to the global average is 7.4%, right?
Yep.
And that means if you just want to go from 4.2% to 7.4%, the market is immense. Now, to put that in dollar terms, at 4.2% in the same financial year, the total premium underwritten by life insurance companies in India was $82.5 billion. And by general and health insurance companies was $26 billion. Now, imagining that 4.2% going to that 7.4% at those numbers, and that represents a massive, massive market which is available in India. Now, the problem, Elroy, is insurance as a sector in India has always been a bit behind banking in adopting emerging technologies and innovation. But in the last 5 years, it has changed actually. The segment has grown at a very, very rapid clip. And as we stand today, there are 394 insurtech companies in India, and they have in total raised about $2.4 billion.
Hemant, that's very true. In fact, the funding in this segment has grown, I think, at a CAGR of 62% in the last 5 years and has actually created three unicorns, Acco, Digit, and Policy Bazaar. Out of them, Policy Bazaar actually went public in 2021 as well. And if you look at the segment that Policy Bazaar operated in, which was insurance aggregators and insurance first issuers, these were the sectors that actually dominated the early days of InsurTech. And the large players and unicorns InsurTech today largely come from these two segments, which is insurance aggregators, which, as the name suggests, aggregates product information and presents it to the customer in one place to make their purchase decision easy. Over the last few years, aggregators have also started playing a larger role in customer onboarding and adding a lot more value to the insurance manufacturers. This has also allowed them to charge a higher fee or a higher premium for the services they provide.
That's true. That's true. And the other segment, Elroy, internet first insurers, is a very interesting segment actually. Because if you see earlier, they would not have come into picture. But considering that a lot of India has come on digital, has started buying products digitally, and has become really comfortable with using digital solutions or buying digitally, the internet first insurance have multiple new use cases which were not being served by the existing players. So what they've really done is they have created bite-sized contextual insurance product that serve very niche segments or very specific needs, right? And
Right.
that are delivered and serviced digitally. Now that is a very interesting segment, and that's where these guys have come in here competing and in fact moving ahead of the traditional players. One interesting example, Elroy, is if you've booked a cab on Ola, you would see there is
Yeah.
a small checkbox that says that would you like to insure this particular ride. That's a very, very micro insurance, right? It's a bite-sized insurance only insuring you for that particular ride. That's an example of contextual insurance. Actually, it's a partnership between Ola and right now I can't remember the product company, but with the internet first insurance to provide that product to their riders. Now, if you look at the last few years, another very interesting two spaces where a lot of growth has happened is one is on the employee insurance. Because if you actually look at the data, Elroy,
Yeah.
especially on the health side, you will see that a lot of health insurance comes via the employer to the employee. Employees or people buying their health insurance themselves is still a very, very small number, right? So employee insurance very interesting. Plus, it's a sale which is B2B, right? So it
Right.
becomes a easier sell or at least an interesting space to get in. And the other, which is very interesting one, is a lot of incumbent players, when they saw the digital players coming in, wanted to transform themselves and serve their customer better. So this new tech insure space it has come in, And Tech Insure is what I call companies, Elroy, which provide tech solutions to insurance players, helping them improve distribution, increase efficiency, or reduce risk exposure.
Hemant, what you mentioned about employee insurance is actually pretty interesting because that segment has been seeing a rise, especially at a time where the larger fintech market has also become very hot on SMEs. Now, this segment
Right.
is seeing a lot of action, and you have about 6 to 8 well-funded firms in this space, which are all doing very well. And one of the key things that this employee insurance segment or the players in that segment offer, they typically offer a platform to employers that let them buy and manage group insurance plans for the employees. And for the employee side of the equation, the employees also get an intuitive and very easy to use platform to manage their policy and apply claims when required. Now, many of these players also provide a lot of additional features and value adds, such as 24 by 7 online doctor access, fitness tracking, discounted medicines, routine free health checkups, and a lot more. A few of the players operating in the segment are Plum, Nova Benefits, Onsurity, and Loop.
Now let's come to the tech insurance space, Elroy. It's very, very interesting. Actually,
Yeah,
I've been connected with this space for some time, and there are multiple solutions that have emerged that operate across the various steps of the value chain, right? The one that I would like to start with is the analytic solution providers. Now, if you look at analytic
right.
solution providers, Elroy, there are two major types, right? One are the ones which help companies capture the new form of data that they were not capturing earlier. And the second
Hmm.
is companies that help these incumbents or other players make sense of that particular data and maybe use that data to offer a new product or increase their own efficiency or maybe reduce risk. Now, there are some
Right.
interesting stories, Elroy. Actually, there was a time when I was working with a drone company, and we ended up
Hmm.
doing a POC with the drone company where during the Chennai floods, there was a commercial office which was underwater, but it was very difficult for the evaluator to actually visit the space and say how much has been the damage. So we ended up using a drone company to go there, use a drone and capture the data and make an estimate of how much the damage is. Now, another,
Very interesting.
yeah, it was amazing, right? I never thought that we would be using, I thought drones were being used to only do like these shadi videos and something, right? But this is very interesting. Another interesting one, Elroy, that I realized was that contract farming has now come to India, right? So people were
Right.
using these drones to capture infrared cameras, and there were multiple cameras they used to capture the data on the farm and make an estimate on the yield that the farm would generate. And based on that estimation,
Okay.
the insurance was being given for crop insurance. Right? Earlier, it would have required someone actually traveling to that farm, making an analysis, going to it would have taken a lot of time and not accurate as well, right? But this changes the game completely. Another interesting one, Elroy, that I've recently seen is there is this company called
Hmm.
Cruiser, right? What
Right.
Cruiser does is it analyzes a driving behavior of a driver. Now, based on that data, the pricing of the insurance product could be done for the driver. That means, Elroy, if say I am driving and I'm a very, very safe driver, assume, then why should I pay
Yeah.
a fee which is similar to someone who is a very rash driver? So it
Yeah.
changes that game completely. In addition to that, what Cruiser also does is they're partnering with companies and offering assistance to the driver to avoid any preventable risks. That means even the driving becomes safer.
Hmm.
And there is an incentive as well, right? That means if you drive better, your insurance fee will go down. So maybe it makes sense to drive better.
I think another interesting area, Hemant, is the whole area of claim assistance solutions. Because quite often, while you have taken insurance, the problems you typically face are when you actually come for a claim, right? So insurance policies are typically not very easy to understand. Claim processes itself are not very well documented and simple. So firms have actually emerged that help customers understand the insurance policy and also ensure that they make the right decisions and keep ready the right pieces of evidence to ensure that they are getting the maximum benefits when they come to claim disbursements. Now, one of the firms that is in the working in the space is a firm called SureClaim that's actually doing a phenomenal job of making it simpler for folks to actually claim insurance.
Very important point, Elroy. In fact, in the business of insurance, claims are things which are called moments of truth. That means you can serve a customer as good as you want, but if the customer's experience is not good at the point of claim, then entire thing takes
Right.
a back seat because that's exactly why you bought insurance, which is in case of you going through a incident, you getting a claim quickly. Right? You were trying to cover that risk, and if that is difficult, then the customer loses the trust on the company completely, right? So extremely important set
Correct.
of solutions which are required because the product, as you rightly mentioned, is not very simple to understand. It is complicated, and inadvertently just because of the nature of the product, the company might end up paying less to a customer because of a mistake of the customer itself, because the customer does not know what kind of documents to ask. Because when, for example, his family is sick, his priority would be completely different from
Hmm.
ensuring that he has all the documents ready, which may be required for a
Right.
certain claim. So, absolutely a good set of solutions that we are seeing in the market. The other set of solution, Elroy, that we are seeing, and it was expected that we'll see, is insurance. Even now, is a push product. I know it sounds a little cliche, but that's the truth,
Yeah.
right? Insurance is a push product. It is not very difficult to tell someone, say, imagine you meet an accident tomorrow, or if you are not there, what will happen to your family? Difficult conversation, right? And it is better to have
Correct.
it using people, and that's why a lot of sales even today, Elroy, is driven via salespeople or agents. I think you would have
Yeah.
definitely had a family member or a relative in past who is like a LIC member or agent come to you and tell that these are the products you should buy. Did you have one of those in your family as well?
So I think maybe yes. Yeah.
Maybe. I think most
Yeah.
of our listeners would have had that one person who sells LIC insurance policy, and those are what we call agents. Now, a lot of
Right.
solutions have come up, Elroy, that are helping these agents to perform better so that the productivity goes up, but also the quality of sales goes up. There are multiple ways which can be done, right? For example, companies are providing them tools which help them explain the product better to their own customers. There are tools which
Yeah.
enable this agent get the right product details and information that the agent can use and provide it to the customer at the right time, at the right moment. These agents are also getting management tools so that they can manage their own leads better, track the leads better, understand how to pitch a customer, and then go and sell better. In fact, Elroy came
Right.
across a very nifty solution. Now, again, I don't remember the name of the company, but selling insurance is a business of trust. That means if you
Hmm.
see an ad by an insurance company on a Facebook, the chances of you buying the insurance is less, right? But if you
Right.
have a person that you know, and the person posts something about an insurance policy and why you should have it, and places his number or some details there, your chances of going there and doing it is much higher. So what this
Right.
company is doing is it is providing social media tools to their agents using which they can post the relevant content on their own social media pages, and the entire process is automated so that they don't have to remember. They can just approve when the post goes on their social media website. Now imagine me seeing a post by Elroy saying that this insurance product is good and I should look for it, and I'll definitely look because Elroy is saying and I believe Elroy, correct? So that's an interesting solution.
Right.
Now, one interesting solution, another one that I came across is called Vimo, which is helping the sales team improve its engagement. And that's a product similarly in this category, which is really helping sales agents sell better. Now, another interesting one, Elroy, which I am seeing a trend which is moving from banking to insurance, is the ecosystem trend, right?
Hmm.
Everywhere customers are not happy with just getting what they've asked for, but they want a holistic experience around that. And what's happening then here is a insurance company around their core insurance product are building a holistic experience for their customer. A good example would be, Elroy, is that a health insurance company is now providing fitness or wellness solution or a diabetes management solution on other to their customer. Now, in this, the benefit is not only of the customer, but it is also of the company, because by using this, companies are able to reduce the chances of a high claim incidence. That way is the risk
Correct.
is reduced for the company as well. And that's a brilliant solution for the customer itself, right? So this is the entire
Yeah.
ecosystem is being built to support a particular customer.
So Hemant, definitely a lot is happening in InsurTech in India, like we just discussed. And I'm sure we would have definitely missed a couple of interesting points as well. I think this is definitely a segment that we should watch and track in the near future.
Absolutely, Elroy, and I agree with you that we would have missed one or two interesting points, but that's okay because once our guests start coming up on the InsurTech segment, I'm very sure that in those discussions we'll definitely cover those points, and I'm really looking forward to those discussions with InsurTech innovators and understanding how they view this particular sector and the sort of problems that they're solving and how.
Likewise, Hemant, I think these will be very interesting conversations when we have them. So that's it from India FinTech Diaries for this week. Do log on to our website indiafintechdiaries.com for exclusive content. And until next time, stay safe.